insurrection.
All right, listen, I just want to touch on one thing before we get started, okay? For all those calling for a restraint or a ceasefire from Israel after the that attack from them fucking idiots, them Hamas people last week, all I got to say, did we call for restraint after 9/11? What about after Pearl Harbor was bombed? Just imagine, would we call for a restraint or ceasefire if, let's say, the Mexican cartel sent over 2,000 mortar rounds into San Diego, Tucson, San Antonio? What if they crossed over into our border and murdered hundreds of people in their homes, including women, children, babies? How about if they pulled our women, our children, out of our homes and raped them repeatedly, and then took them back to Mexico to do more of the same? Would we ask for restraint then? No. We unequivocally would not. Or at least, I would hope not. What would happen is the U.S. military would rain down on every cartel with such a vengeance that every member of every cartel in every country in the region would feel our fury. And that's exactly how we should respond. Not with restraint or ceasefire, but with disproportionate national fucking vengeance. That's how you protect your sovereignty. That's how you protect your citizens, by displaying an overwhelming demonstration of strength. Make a message sent to any of those who dare to come us. They will never forget what we just did. And Israel has that exact same right and responsibility to retaliate against their enemies who launched rockets into their cities, invaded their land, murdered their people, raped their women and children, and abducted over 150 of them. Some of them United States citizens. So the only appropriate response is to crush Hamas with the full weight of their military might. The U.S. invaded and subdued 2 countries in response to 9/11 and went to war against terror for 20 years. We entered a world war on 2 fronts. We dropped 2 atomic bombs, wiping 2 Japanese cities from the face of the earth in response to the I hate this word, despicable and cowardly attack on Pearl Harbor. What Hamas did to Israel, in certain points of view, are much worse. While I do not agree with every aspect of how we went about these wars, it cannot be denied that every nation on earth would think long and hard before taking on America. We have a history of disproportionate responses that leave our enemies decimated. Israel's enemies literally surround them. They need those enemies to have the exact same pause to reflect and count the cost of war with Israel. And only a disproportionate military response will achieve that necessary goal. They do not merely need to win this fight with Hamas. They need to win many future fights before they even happen. So in case any of you haven't figured it out by now, I stand with Israel. Now that I got that out of the way, I'll put these back on just so I can make sure my buttons don't get all pressed the wrong way. All right? I need a drink. That's good shit. So, there was a ex-Hamas leader, his name is Khalid Mashal, calling on Muslims to unite and declare some holiday, Friday the 13th. It was 3 days ago. They wanted that to be a day of rage or day of jihad. He was asking some crazy shit, man. You know, for example, I got that right there. For those of you who can't see it on your screen, I'll read of it. So, Khalid Mashal, the leader and founding member of Hamas, gave a speech today asking all Muslims all around the world to do the following. He wanted them to show anger, especially on Friday, in Muslim countries and also among Muslim diaspora around the world. He called it the Friday of Al-Aqsa Flood. He said this will send a message of rage to Zionists and to America. He asked for financial help. Of course he did. Fucking guy, that's all they want is fucking money, right? Let me reload this one over here quick. Give me a second. He asked for financial help, like I said, of course, from all Muslims around the world to help with their money, and he called it financial jihad. He asked Muslims to give to the fighters of Gaza in order to compensate them for their destruction. He asked political pressure from Muslim leaders and Muslim nations to stop Israel's military invasion of Gaza. And now you see it's working because Iran came out and warned Israel to not enter Gaza. Funny, I don't hear him telling Hamas not to leave Gaza and go into Israel, but be that as it may. The most important thing, he asked all Muslims around the world to carry jihad by their souls, to fight and be martyrs for Al-Aqsa. He wants Muslims to fight against the Jews, starting with the Muslims who live in countries surrounding Israel, which include Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. There's a couple others. They want them to go to the borders, try to enter by their own means. He said, and I quote, this is a good one. This is the time for jihad to be applied on the ground rather than just in theory. He asked the Mujahideen to go in long caravans to spill their bloods in the land of Palestine. His final words were, funds are important, but today we are asking for your blood and souls to be sacrificed for Palestine. You've got to be kidding me, right? He's asking these other people to go. Why ain't he there? You know where he's at? I'm going to tell you where he's at. The little bastard is in, where the hell is he? The same place that we put our money, not our money, I'm sorry, the same country that's holding the money that we were withholding from Iran, Qatar. He's in Qatar telling his followers to go ahead and commit Harry jihad while he sits back and relaxes in his comfortable penthouse apartment in Riyadh or Qatar. You believe that? Why won't he go himself? Why don't he send his kids, his children, his family members in there to go and do jihad? He's a fucking coward. And of course he got to ask for money. You know why? Because we just froze the money again. Last episode we were calling for that. Telling fucking the former Vice President, Joe Biden, to freeze that money back up that he released to him. And there's this other decrepit asshole. I couldn't even pronounce his name if you fucking told me 400 times. Calling for liberating the world of Zionists and Christians around the globe. Hit cut one.
We speak about the army of Jerusalem and the battle of the promise of the hereafter. We are not talking about liberating our land alone, but we believe in what our Prophet Muhammad said. Allah drew the ends of the world near one another for my sake, and I have seen its eastern and western ends. The dominion of my nation would reach those ends that have been drawn near me. The entire 510 million square kilometers of planet Earth will come under a system where there is no injustice, no oppression, no treachery, no Zionism, no treacherous Christianity.
I don't know what's going on with the stream, but it's a little goofy right now. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I could redo it here. I don't know what that asshole's all about, but he's calling for worldwide jihad. And you see him, he's like older than dirt. So, of course, he's got nothing to lose, right? Again, don't ask me his name. I can't pronounce it. If you fucking told me 3 times, it wouldn't matter. So, it's been a week now. And the people in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, knew Israel was going to retaliate. They knew. They were told to get out. Get out. You need to get out. But did they listen? No, of course not. They're standing by their Hamas fellows and wishing for all Jews to keel over and die. In the meantime, though, they're getting bombarded with airstrikes, mortar strikes, missile strikes, buildings collapsing. Everyone seems to think that Israel's just launching missiles over there, willy-nilly style. And that's not the case. They have intelligence to where people are held up. These Hamas fighters, I guess, if you will. And Israelis gotten the smart weaponry and targeting these buildings. But what does Hamas do? They keep innocent people in there. They're not letting them leave Gaza. Look, if they wanted to leave Gaza, they could. Okay? All they got to do is they'll tell Hamas, get the fuck out of the way. We're going to turn you the fuck in. We don't want to be here when you die. We're going over here. Over here. There, in the southwest corner of Gaza, there's a little gate. Opens, closes, opens, and closes. When it opens, people could walk right through and go into Egypt. Why don't they? It's very simple. Egypt didn't want them. As of yesterday, though, Egypt opened up their doors and said, okay, come on in. But now Egypt's going to ask the United States to help with money to shelter these people. I say fuck you. I say fuck you. No more fucking money to anybody else outside of this fucking continent. And outside of our borders. Forget the continent. Forget Canada. Forget Mexico. Forget South America. Money stays here anymore. Right? So, Israeli told the innocents to leave. They're going to decimate Hamas. And like I said, there is a little... If I can get that... I don't know which one that is. There it is, right there. All right, if you look at that little map right there, I know people listening on the podcast can't see it, but southwest corner, there's the outlined area. See that highlighted area? That's the Gaza Strip, okay? On the bottom, the southwest corner, little circle there, that's the gate that goes into Egypt. They got to travel right there, that little bit, to get into Egypt. That's all they got to do. We'll see how many sit there and do that, though. I hope the innocent women, children, hell, even the men, you know, if they're innocent, they don't want a part of this bullshit, holy war that they're about to get involved in. I hope they do leave. But we'll just see what happens. All right. But listen, do me a favor. Hit that like and thumbs up button. Please. Please, for the like of God. I got to get this algorithm going. I got to get more people seeing this shit. Because there's a lot of people, believe it or not. I was at work 2 days ago. And it came on the morning news about the war in Israel. And people are like, what? What's going on? I didn't know there was a war in Israel. Nobody sees this shit. So please, go ahead, hit that like button, that thumbs up button, whatever it is, whatever platform you're watching on. Let me get the video out there so more people can see it. All right? So, let's get over to the squad. Speaking of this day of rage, this day of rage turned out to be a dud. Yeah, there were some protests, and we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to the protests in a little bit. No jihad. I think in France, a teacher got stabbed by someone with a knife saying, "Ah, Akbar," or whatever the fuck their little goat mating call is. And he stabbed a teacher. And I think there was another one in Japan. Professor in Japan got killed somehow. Don't ask me how. As for here in the United States, there was no let's put it this way. I did not get to test out what my bullets do to human flesh. Okay? So it did not get bad. It did not get out of control. It definitely was not like the BLM Antifa riots of 2020. Nothing like that. AOC. Let's talk about this fucking horse-faced dumb bitch. AOC is giving an interview. She got all this word salad coming out of her fucking pie hole, right? There's a part in the beginning where she doesn't want to admit that we should support Israel. You'll see it. You'll see it. Hit cut 2.
Responsibility is to the stability and the security of the region. That means being able to support, yes, Israel in its defensive capacities, right? In its ability, in that context. But it also means that the United States has a responsibility to ensure accountability to human rights, to prevent the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, and to ensure that horrors do not happen in the names of victims who do not want their tragedy used to justify further violence and injustice.
Y'all heard that, right? Did y'all hear it? About the 32-second mark? Probably not. You probably didn't, really catch it quick. But I want you to listen. I made a little montage. Real time, 50% speed and 25% speed. I just cut the little fart out, but watch, listen. You're going to like this.
Their tragedy. Their tragedy. Their tragedy.
Kind of reminds you of this guy, right?
It's uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from...
I'm sorry. Those two make a good fucking couple, right? But yeah, that's all I do is fart on camera. But, all right, so listen. As of last night, when I started producing this podcast, I had 27 Americans dead, 14 unaccounted for. So we're a little outdated right now. Right now it's up to 29 Americans dead and 15 unaccounted for. You can see right here from the White House. Yay, they actually fucking want to tell the truth for once. 27 Americans killed in Hamas attacks, 14 unaccounted for. This is as of Thursday. Like I said, right now it's up to 29. The White House on Thursday said that at least 27 American citizens, this is from Yahoo News, by the way, okay, not no conservative outlet or nothing like that. 27 American citizens have died as a result of unfolding violence in Israel, marking an uptick in the number of fatalities from earlier in the day. Well, no shit. The longer you keep fucking looking for people, the more people you're going to find that are dead. I mean, it's just common sense. The fucking reporters are not like what they used to be. They're fucking terrible anymore. National Security spokesman, this idiot here, John Kirby, also said that the number of Americans unaccounted for is 14, which is a decrease from the 17 unaccounted for Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday, 21 people dead, 17 unaccounted for. 21, 17, that's, 48. Today, 27? Yeah, it was 24. 24 and 17. Okay? That's 40. I don't know how much that is. 41? Yeah. 41. Now, the other day, it was 24 and 17, which is, guess what? Still 41. The ones they accounted for are now dead. Early Thursday, Secretary Antony Blinken announced that at least 25 Americans were confirmed to be killed during a press conference in Israel. I can't read any more of this. Anyway, you want to read it? It's on Yahoo News. Keep up to date on it. They'll tell you how many people are dead. The one thing that happened, I saw on the Day of Rage, the Day of Jihad, the one thing I saw where there's some arrests made. Now, I don't know if you remember or not, but back when that Supreme Court leak came out about Roe versus Wade, the leak came out that they already had a decision made, and then protests started happening in front of the Supreme Court Justice's house, and people were calling for Judge Kavanaugh to be killed, and they did arrest one person who brought a firearm there. He was a fucking wacko anyway. I mean, they're all fucking wackos. But federal law, believe it or not, says you cannot, may not, shall not, will not protest in front of a federal Supreme Court justice's residence. I don't even think you're allowed on the block. If you do, you go to jail. You know how many people went to jail because they were protesting at Kavanaugh's house? Zero. Zero, zero, zero. Like I said, just that one idiot who actually brought a firearm to the area, but he was an idiot. So anyway, the other night, New York City, Brooklyn actually. Close enough, right? In Brooklyn, there was a protest outside good old Chucky Schumer. Good old Chucky Schumer's house, the Senate leader. That old decrepit bastard. Well, people got arrested there. It's funny. You protest in front of a Democrat's house where it's legal and it's not against the law. Unless you don't have a permit. Let's be specific. Okay? You can protest outside a Democrat's house, you get arrested. You protest against a federal Supreme Court justice's house, it's okay. Here, cut 5. Show them cut 5. Okay? You get arrested in front of the Democrat's house. You don't get arrested in front of the Supreme Court's house. Up fucking side down goddamn world. All right, listen, before we move on, I'm already 3 minutes over. We got to take a quick break, grab some more coffee. We'll be right back in a minute. Hey, look at, just so you know, we have a weekly newsletter. It keeps you up to date on news you might miss, news that the mainstream media doesn't report on, news that they don't want you to know about. I got some funny shit in there, dude. Got some investment information in there for y'all as well. Gold prices, silver prices. Speaking of which, next podcast we might jump in a new sponsor there for you. Just stay tuned to find out. You can get that newsletter at crazycowboy.com/newsletter. That's crazycowboy.com/newsletter. All right, so we got the speakers race heating up. I didn't lose connection, did I? Did I lose connection? Testing on 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think we're back. Huh. Well, I swear this is pissing me off. All right, so anybody that didn't get it, we do have a weekly newsletter. Keeps you up to date on what you're missed during the week that the mainstream media doesn't like reporting to you. Sign up there at crazycowboy.com/newsletter. That again is crazycowboy.com/newsletter. So on to our second segment here, Speaker of the House. A little background information on that. Before we do, today, pitch black espresso. This shit's fucking amazing. If you like dark roast coffee, listen, dark roast coffee without the bitter, this is it. You know where to get it. I ain't gonna plug it, but boy, I'll tell you right now. That's probably why I'm all fired up today. This is my second one of these here that I had. I can't show that. There we go. I can't show what's written on there. They ain't a sponsor. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's probably why I'm so wound up. This is my second one, and I just can't stop drinking it. It's fucking amazing. So a little over a week ago, a little over a week ago, they had a little vote, and they removed Kevin McCarthy from the Speaker of the House position. I'm having a smoke. You don't like smoke? Too fucking bad. Don't care. I'm having a smoke. Matt Gaetz went ahead and called for a vote to remove Speaker McCarthy from his post. It went through. Of course, all the Democrats voted to remove him. You know they would. I'm sorry. Damn it, I did it again. Of course, all the NaziCrats voted to remove McCarthy. Of course they did, because they want that bubblehead, what's his name, Akeem Jeffries in there. So, two people at the time threw their name into the hat afterwards to become the next Speaker of the House. One was Representative Jim Jordan. He's from Ohio. And the other one was Steve Scalise. If you remember, Steve Scalise is the guy that got shot by the left-wing Looney Tune at the softball practice 2 years ago. What was it, more? Probably more than 2 years ago. Well, they had a preliminary private vote behind closed doors. And, oh no. See, that's why you shouldn't smoke with a microphone in front of your face, right? So, Steve Scalise actually got more votes than Jim Jordan. But, we got to remember that Steve Scalise, you know, like I said, he did get shot. And turns out he has a little cancer issue. So, he decides, hopefully he decided for the good of the party, to drop out of the race. Whether or not that's the actual reason he did, I don't know. But CNN, Steve Scalise drops out of Speaker's race as House GOP faces leadership crisis. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise announced he was dropping out of the Speaker's race Thursday after House Republicans failed to coalesce behind him in the aftermath of Kevin McCarthy's ouster. Just so you guys got a little background, Kevin McCarthy was the Speaker of the House. So he's like up there. Okay? He's number one, but he's not, he's like above number one, right? So the House Majority Leader, the guy who's like number one for the Republicans, is Steve Scalise. Just so you guys got a little information background there. So I just shared with my colleagues that I'm withdrawing my name as a candidate for the Speaker designee. He's from Louisiana. The swift downfall of Scalise's speakership nomination came just a day after the GOP conference voted him over Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, 113 to 99. So he beat him by 14 votes. The withdrawal was as shocking as it was predictable. After a band of Republicans, I don't even want to read the rest of fucking CNN's bullshit. Okay? Everybody knows you need 217 votes to become the Speaker. He got 199. And that's that. He dropped out. Okay? So, that leaves who? Come on, you got it. Come on. If Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan were the ones running, and Steve Scalise got more votes than Jim Jordan, but then Steve Scalise drops out, who's next? Jim Jordan, right? Right? I mean, you have two of them, and you take one away, and you only have one left, then he's the one that should be nominated. Right? Right? Anybody? Bueller? No! Austin Scott. Austin Scott, you know, Austin Scott from Georgia. Who? Yeah, Austin Scott. Representative Austin Scott from Georgia decides after Steve Scalise bounces, he's going to throw his name into the Speaker's hat. First of all, who? Who the fuck are you? And second of all, just fucking stop, dude. Just stop. There's no need for you to be in this race. You're just trying to make a name for yourself. You had 13 years to make a name for yourself, 12 years or whatever the fuck you've been there for. Nobody knows who you are. And you want to be the Speaker. Here. I'll read it with you because I ain't never heard of the dude either. But even colleagues have never heard of new Jim Jordan challenger as GOP Speaker fight grows desperate. It's from a fucking rag called The Salon, but either way, it's the way it is. Representative Austin Scott from Georgia, a relatively unknown Georgia Republican. Relatively unknown? No, he's unknown. Nobody knows who this fucking guy is. He's quiet as a mouse. A relatively unknown Georgia Republican who served in Congress since 2011, announced Friday that he would pursue his party's nomination for House Speaker. Why? We have one. We could have had one. It could have been done and over with. He says, "We are in Washington to legislate, and I want to lead a House that functions in the best interest of the American people." Well, it would have been if you didn't throw your fucking name into it. Scott is now the only challenger to Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, who's making his second bid for the speakership after House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana won the nomination and bowed out of the race a day later earlier this week. Excuse me. Despite Scott's decade-long stint in Congress, insider reports that it appears that a number of people outside of his southern Georgia district, including his own colleagues, are unfamiliar with him. Never, one House Democrat told the outlet over a text when they asked if they ever heard of him. "We are busily Googling Austin Scott right now," said another Democrat or NaziCrat representative. Scott currently serves on the House Intelligence, Armed Services, and Agricultural Committees, and one of his most notable actions was voting against an objection to the Electoral College results in Pennsylvania and Arizona on January 6th. Okay. All right, so he did something decent. He seems to... Scott also appears to be running primarily to prevent Jordan, whom he blames for denying Scalise the nomination, from obtaining the nomination himself. He told Punchbowl News Friday that he doesn't necessarily want to be the Speaker of the House or think that anyone can get 217 votes. Well, if you don't think you can get 217 votes, why are you there? Jim Jordan get 217 votes if you took your ass out of the damn fucking poll, Ugh. The House has been without a speaker for 10 days following representatives' votes, sparked by a push from vocal critic and Matt Gaetz, Florida, to oust McCarthy from the role last week. Yeah. That's that. So, what has to happen now? Well, what happened was they had another fucking vote. Behind closed doors. I'm tired of these behind closed doors fucking votes. We need to see what the fuck is going on. Okay? Not just the results. We need to see what everybody's doing and who's voting for what. It was an anonymous vote. Nobody knows who voted for anything. But on that vote, Jim Jordan won the nomination between the Republicans in the private little caucus there, okay? You can see here, Jim Jordan, yeah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Jim Jordan wins nomination in House Speaker election, defeating the late challenger Austin Scott. House Republicans, befallen by disorder and infighting, nominated Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio for Speaker after an internal secret ballot voted behind closed doors on Friday, marking another step towards electing a new leader as the lower chamber is in its 10th day without a speaker. Jordan, the House Judiciary Committee, defeated Representative Austin Scott of Georgia, who made a surprise entrance into the Speaker's race House hours earlier as an anti-Jordan alternative. The conference's nomination, however, is just a formal endorsement from the majority of GOP lawmakers. For Jordan to become Speaker, he will still have to rally an overwhelming majority of House Republicans behind him to win a vote on the floor with 217 votes. The magic number needed to get the top job. It's uncertain if Jordan will be able to persuade Scott's supporters to flip ahead of a possible floor vote, which could happen as early as, and that didn't happen, Friday afternoon. I think they're talking about doing it Wednesday or Thursday of this upcoming week. So, in a nutshell, we still have no speaker. Hopefully, no other Bobo goes ahead and puts their name in the hat. Because we don't need that. All we're doing is prolong. You know what, though? Hold on. I do have one observation to make about this whole Speaker of the House race. Okay? And that is, I really don't think it makes that much of a difference. Considering the fact that country's been moving along just fine. I mean, well. Let me rephrase that. Not just fine, but as good as it was before McCarthy. Did y'all notice that there was no speaker? If I didn't tell you there was no speaker, and if you didn't know there was no speaker of the House, would it have made a difference in your life? Nope. You know why? Because they ain't been doing nothing. Neither one of them. Neither house, neither party have been doing fuck all to make our lives better. Will Jim Jordan, if he becomes speaker? Who the fuck knows? Really, Nobody fucking knows. All I know is if someone else throws their fucking hat in the ring, he, she, they, whatever the fuck kind of pronoun you want to use for these assholes, should get primaried and voted out. Let Jim Jordan have it. He's been there. He knows what the fuck he's doing. Even though I'd hate to see him leave the committee assignments that he's on because he's damn good in the judiciary community, I really hate to see him leave them. He would have to if he was the speaker. Someone else would become the chairman of those committees. But we need one, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Oh, well. Oh, hey, don't forget to get some swag in our new online store. So because of the Hamas attack on Israel, where they came flying in with the parachutes and just flying into the festival on the parachutes, don't forget to grab some new swag in our online store. We have new products every week coming in, and this week's t-shirt design, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. Here, check it out. I'll throw it up there quick. Yeah, right there. Nobody needs an AR-15. Nobody needs a little whiny bitch either, but here you are. Yeah, how would you have liked to have an AR-15 if you were in Israel while these fucking towel heads come flopping in the festival? You could have been plucking them out of the sky. You can see there, 1674. It comes in all different colors. That's the black one. I do like the black. But we got some chocolate, some military green, red. The maroon is pretty cool too. Girls or guys, whatever floats your boat. We got some pink and some light blue right there. The Carolina blue. Now, that's a nice shirt. That one there's one of my favorites too. And of course you got purple. Who doesn't like a purple shirt, right? All right, back to the black. I'll tell you what. I never thought about it this way, but talking for 45, 50 minutes straight now, get you a little parched. You know what I got to get, right? My blackout coffee. Look, I got to take another break. It's been another 20 minutes, and they're going to get mad at me if I don't. So, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Stay here. we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. So listen. This is going to piss some people off. Okay? This is really going to piss some people off. Now, you know, Americans are in a lot of countries around the world. Like, we have tens, hundreds, thousands of citizens, of our citizens, probably in 90% of every nation in the world, every civilized nation, and some uncivilized nations, you know, because of the missionaries list. Well, anyway, be that as it may, y'all know that there's American citizens in Israel, right? I mean, y'all can't be that silly to think that we don't have any American citizens in Israel. We do. Of course we do. We have American citizens in Palestine. We got American citizens in Iraq. I mean, all over the world. Now, with that being said, probably the one place that you really shouldn't be in is Israel right now as an American citizen. Like Afghanistan was 2 years ago. A little bit over 2 years ago, right? Now, I'm sure if you had some missiles and flying over your head and gunfire in the distance, maybe 3-4 blocks away from you, and you're an American citizen, you'd want to get the fuck out probably, right? I mean, we're not all warriors. They're not, you know, they might be over there to visit, to pray for be over there for the holiday, the Yom Kippur holiday, and they're stuck there. Well, the good news is the former Vice President, Joseph R. Biden, Mr. Potato Head himself, has decided to get them out if they want to leave. Yep. You want to leave? Come on out. We'll take you. You'll either go on a boat or you might go on a plane. And we're going to take you to a couple cities in Europe, you know, maybe like Athens or Cyprus or somewhere in the South European area. We're not going to fly you home to America. We're just going to get you out of the country, right? No, we're not going to pay. Matter of fact, we might just have you pay for your flight or boat trip out of the country. And you're like, what? Wait a minute. Wait. Y'all don't believe me, do you? You don't believe me? Check this out. I'll read it to you for those who are listening on a podcast here. You're really going to like this. American citizens stranded in Israel forced to sign promissory note for evacuation aid. In a distressing turn of events, little pop-up. In a distressing turn of events, American citizens trapped in Israel due to unforeseen circumstances are being compelled by the Biden administration to sign promissory notes to cover all travel costs if they opt for rescue by the U.S. government. This move sparked outrage and disappointment among those who expected the government to provide support and protection during such a crisis. Yitz Freeman, whoever the fuck that guy is, the communications manager at the American Accountability Foundation, shared his harrowing experience of being stranded in Israel. He criticized the United States State Department's failure to assist its citizens in crisis situations. Here's a tweet. Breaking news. Reports are coming in that the Biden administration is telling American citizens in Israel they'll have to pay reimbursements if they're evacuated from Israel. Ain't that some shit? So this guy, Yitzhak Shamir Friedman, and his wife found themselves stuck in Israel after their original flight back to the U.S. was canceled. When they sought help from the U.S. Embassy, they were essentially told to fend for themselves. The United States State Department's Consular Affairs Crisis Management System has been accused of leaving many American citizens in the lurch. The department has demanded that stranded citizens sign promissory notes as a precondition for any assistance in evacuating from the crisis-hit region. Ain't that something? The email sent to American citizens outlined the so-called assisted departure options, stating that the United States government would offer loans for transportation. This approach by the Biden administration has been seen as a financial burden on Americans wishing to depart from Israel. The email explicitly states, departure assistance is provided via a loan from the U.S. government, which requires travelers to sign a promissory note, which is an agreement to repay, prior to departure. That's a good picture there. Yeah, so if you're an illegal immigrant, or let's say you're a refugee from a Muslim-controlled country, and you want to leave the country, we will bring you here, free of charge. If you're an American citizen in a country that's being bombed by terrorists, that's raping women, taking them across the borders, and doing with them as they please, and you want to get out, you have to pay. We got people coming over this border by the millions. Millions. And they get to travel wherever the fuck they want in this country. They get $2,200 a month in welfare benefits that we pay for. But American citizens that are stuck inside of a war zone that this fucking moron, never mind, I'm not going to say he funded it because, well, he funded it. They have to pay to get out. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow patriots, I hate to leave you on bad news like that. So, we're going to turn that frown upside down. We're going to turn this podcast into a good ending. Several good endings. Because this Biden administration, this failed administration, does not want to help our own citizens get out of a war zone. There's somebody in the United States government that is. And his name is Congressman Cory Mills from Florida, District 7, I think. His district is north of Orlando to the Atlantic Ocean. So from Sanford east. Cory Mills. Cory Mills is a veteran. Cory Mills has decided, well, this article is 2 days old, but I'll read it off to you. Florida Representative Cory Mills flies to Israel on his own dime to rescue 32 and then 45. So he's up to like 99 or 77 on his own right now. Americans trapped amid the fighting. This is from the New York Post. Florida Representative Cory Mills, an Iraq war veteran, helped rescue 32 Americans trapped in Israel after it came under attack from Hamas terrorists over the weekend. The Republican, of course, because a fucking Democrat ain't going to do it. Matter of fact, the Democratic senator from New Jersey Cory fucking Booker was over in Israel when it fucking happened, and he took his fucking ass out of there. How many Americans he bring home with him? Come on, you got it. Come on. So far, this guy got 70 some. Come on, how many did Cory Booker take with him? That fucking moron from New Jersey. How many did he take? Come on, you know the end. No, not lower. 0. The Republican told Fox News on Wednesday that he flew into the Jewish nation to help get the U.S. citizens back home. Mills, who served with the 82nd Airborne Division while deployed in Iraq, said he was unable to share more details about the rescue mission or its location due to operational security and concerns. He did tell the station that some of the Americans he led to safety have become stuck in areas of the country that now lack permissible environment for a full escape. The lawmaker decided to go to Israel himself after noticing the Biden administration, the incompetent Biden administration, the poor excuse for an administration, Biden administration, yeah, I'm adding those myself, had not announced any of the ground plans to bring U.S. citizens home. He did the same thing with trapped individuals in Afghanistan in 2020. Remember 2021? The former Vice President Potato Head decided to leave Afghanistan and leave our people there. Cory Mills went to Afghanistan to go get them. He did the same thing with trapped individuals in Afghanistan in 2021 after President Biden decided to withdraw from the country. I went in and I was very thankful to be able to get, for the second time, by the way, I'll just add, helping the Biden administration who has failed to do their job. The first time I did it was in 2021, where I conducted the very first successful rescue of Americans. But here it is, the second time doing the failed Biden administration's work because they have no plan. He also slammed Biden for not being more available to reporters during the intense battle between Israel and Hamas. I think it's about time that the American people put a lid on the disastrous administration that continues to fail in their plan and strategy to be able to get Americans out or to take into account the foreign policy situation that they actually create that actually leads to these types of incidences. Biden says Americans are likely among people abducted by Hamas militants and 14 U.S. citizens are among the dead. So you got a Republican congressman who is an Iraq war veteran, who not only in 2021 decided to go to Afghanistan and help the Biden administration. No. He did not help the Biden administration out. What he did was he rescued Americans. It just so happens that the Biden administration benefited from it because those Americans that got out were not killed. So he did this in 2021. Went to Afghanistan. Got Americans out. Now, another fucking failure by the former Vice President Joe Biden and his administration in Israel. And what has to happen? The same Republican has to go to Israel and get him out himself. He's doing this all himself. Not asking for any help from the fucking Potato Head's administration, doing it himself. So he's on News Nation, Newsmax, what was it? News Nation the other day with that fucking idiot that got fired from CNN. What's his name? Huh? Cuomo. Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo is interviewing Cory Mills. Here, check it out.
You're trying to bring Israeli Americans home. I'm worried about the Palestinian Americans, to be honest. I mean, the professor said that Hamas would let them leave. I think that's magical thinking. What's your take about how we deal with the plight of Americans who are caught up in this situation?
Well, let me just start off by saying I don't care if you're Israeli American or Palestinian American. If you're an American, I'm willing to get you home, and I'm willing to do what is right. It is my obligation as an elected official to protect the sovereignty of America and the safety safety of American citizens. You know, yesterday we ended up getting over 32 Americans back. Today we got over 45 Americans back. I'm looking to continue my rescues. That's 77 Americans in the last 2 days. And the question that I always ask is that one member of Congress can go out and get 77 Americans who are trapped, left behind, some of which have been trying for 4 to 6 days to be able to get back, and canceled flight after canceled flight, after entrapment, after a shelling, after continual just attempts to get home, gets locked down. If I can get 77 people out on my own dime, then how is it that the full might of the entire U.S. government under President Biden has gotten zero out to this point? That, in my opinion, is an absolute just disaster.
Well, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. How can he, one guy, go get 77 American citizens out of the war-torn Israel, and the Biden administration sits on their fucking asses? Where are you, Joe? Pudding time? Jill got to clean your fucking diaper? Or did you put a lid on it for the day? Where the fuck are you? Why are we not getting those Americans out? Oh, you are. Oh, you are. Oh, but you're making them pay for it. This guy's going in and providing flights for them. Here to America. Not a little boat ride to fucking Cyprus. And then they got to find a place to stay, a hotel, until they find a flight back here on their own dime. This guy got to go, folks. He's got to go. And I'll tell you right now, Jim Jordan, if you get in here, there's plenty of evidence to start an actual impeachment. Not an impeachment inquiry. An impeachment. We need to get rid of it. Look, I'm getting a little fired up. I told myself I wasn't going to get really fired up today, but I am getting fired up, so I'm just going to calm down. Just going to calm down a little bit. There's this second fucking war that this guy's left American citizens behind, and it's really fucking aggravating. So listen, before we hit the last part of this segment of this podcast, do me a huge solid. Smash that like button, that thumbs up button, whatever the fuck you got over there. Subscribe or follow the channel, okay? Depending on the platform you're watching or listening on. And make sure you follow us on our socials, okay? Twitter, which is X, and especially Rumble. I would really love to get the Rumble going a lot, because they're not, sooner or later, I'm on YouTube right now also, and Facebook, just to get a couple more people. I figure maybe get the liberal crowd over here, or the moderates over here, the ones that don't know what's really going on, maybe get their voice or their ears tuned into the voice that's coming out of our side. Maybe get a couple of them to see the light. So if you would do that for me, it would be amazing if we could just get a couple more people into here. Okay, let me snooze that. I don't want to. Here we go. Yeah. So please do me them favors. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw it up here quick. Here's our socials. Right there. Okay. So please hit that like button, that thumbs up button, whatever it is. Follow, subscribe, whatever you could do. I ain't asking for no damn money. I ain't worried about that. I work every day. I'm good. You know, I ain't asking for no money. I just want to get the word out there a little bit more. We ready to bring it home? We ready to bring it home? All right. Last episode we talked about that NaziCrat. Oh, what's her name? Rashida Tlaib. Well, she's in Congress, right? And she's walking through the halls. And Fox's Hillary Vaughn caught up with that bitch. And they confronted her. Now, of course, she played the victim and didn't say a word and hit her face, and she was sobbing until it looked like that ding-dong Maxine Waters, but it wasn't her. She came to her aid, and then they took her in an elevator that the press isn't allowed in. Yeah, it's really just all they're asking her is, dude, what do you have to say about the Hamas terrorists killing kids? Do you have any comment? Watch.
Terrorist has cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just gonna go through here.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads. Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the streets? You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off?
Say something, bitch. Look at this big galoot standing.
Congressman, why do you have the Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel? Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
Yep, right. Look at her hiding her face. I mean, you should be embarrassed. You really should. You should be fucking embarrassed. Matter of fact, I don't know how anybody. This woman's from Michigan, and Dearborn, Michigan. I know it well. I don't know how. You elected this traitorous. I was told I can't say this word. That traitorous twat waffle. That better? Is that better? Okay. I don't know how you elected that traitorous twat waffle into the halls of our Congress. Her and that little fucking brother Marion snake of a twat waffle, Ilhan Omar, should be gone. They should not be able to walk the halls of our Congress. That's just my opinion. You don't agree with me? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. I can say that, right? Okay. So, with that being said, our second congressional hero of the day, no surprise, it's another Republican congressman. He served in the U.S. Army for 12 years before he received the Purple Heart. He was in Afghanistan, got his stems blown off. His name is Representative Brian Mast. He's also from Florida. Well, he came to work in the Capitol with his IDF uniform on. He was also part of the Israeli Defense Force. And he was seemingly aggravated that Tlaib is a terrorist supporting twat waffle, and he let everyone know. Watch this video.
What's with your threads today? Can you tell us anything about those? Tlaib's got her flag. I've got my uniform.
Yeah. I don't know if any of y'all heard that or not, but he said, you have any words? And he said, yeah, Tlaib got her flag. Tlaib! That fucking NaziCrat! She got her fucking flag for terrorists. I got my uniform. Well, folks, that's it for today. I'm like 10 minutes over, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I had a good time today. I was really excited to do this tonight. I'm so glad you guys stuck around. I would really, really appreciate those likes and follows on, especially Rumble. You know, let me cue some background music here for a minute while I say thank you. And I appreciate you guys sticking around. So, just to close things out. See, they have monologues in the beginning. I guess I had a monologue in the beginning too. I wanted to get a couple things off my chest, but this is going to be my end log. We'll call it the end log, and it's going to be short and simple and to the point. For my fellow American patriots, I'm speaking to you right now. What I would like you to do. Well, look, 2024 is going to come quick. And you know what they're doing to Trumpy, right? I mean, they got him tied up in civil cases, criminal cases. I mean, And all they're trying to do is make it so he's not on the ballot. That'll be on our next episode too, because a judge just came down and ruled in a Colorado case about him being on the ballot. We'll get to that in the next episode. We're going to do that one Wednesday. Okay? I think I might do away with Facebook and or YouTube. I'm not sure which one. Gotta see which one of the two gets the more views. And I'll do away with the lesser one, obviously. Okay? I'm going to say Facebook's going away. And I'm sorry, all you Facebook listeners. But you need to go ahead and hop on over on Rumble. Okay? Anyway, 2024 is coming around quick. And they're trying their damnedest to get rid of Trumpy. They're trying and they're trying and they're trying. But I honestly believe, and I didn't want to let everybody know that I'm behind Trump 115%. And if he sees this, if there's anything I could do to help you out, my brother, you let me know. I'm there for you. So, what I would like all you guys to do, who's listening right now, who's watching right now, is once a week, just once a week, try and tell 5 people, 5, to go and register to vote. Just register to vote. Matter of fact, you can go to our other sponsor, stoptheleftpac.org, stoptheleftpac.org. And you could register to vote right there on that site. Right there. Doesn't matter where in the country you are. Nothing. You go and you go there and you register to vote. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. Okay? Just get 5 people. If you can get 5 people a month to go register to vote, that's huge. And then get them 5 people to get 5 people. And then tell those 5 people to get 5 more people. Sooner or later, we'll have so many votes for our Republican nominee. I hate Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm MAGA. I am Make America Great, motherfuckers. And I'm voting for Trump. Or, if they don't let Trump on the ballot, not the Democrat. Alright, that's enough for me today. I'm going to leave you with a screen with my Twitter followers, a couple shout outs to my Twitter peeps. Go ahead and follow these people that you'll see on this next screen here. I won't be able to recite them because the mic will be going off and the stream will be ending. Thank you guys for joining. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Carry a firearm if you have to, because you never know about that day of Jihad. They might be surprising. Alright? Be safe, my friends.